This
Good
is
morning.
Trading Bros, Crypto and Coffee. I'm Clutch Crypto, your host.
I'm Baby Wellington, your co-host.
And good morning, good morning. We're about 10 minutes before the market opens for the New York session. And today is 225.22. And by the way, this is not financial advice. Please do all
Not
your
at all.
research and trade at your own risk.
Don't do anything we do.
Hey, but yesterday I got in a very nice long for about 115%, and it turned around and ran that short down to about 52%. And dude, I was having to leave because I had to go somewhere. So I just I finally just set a trailing stop loss, and it made out really well. So that was cool.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Set
when
it
you
and forget about it.
look, we'll see what we can do through the weekend. But yeah, this is the pump that obviously the market's up. This is the pump we kind of expect a little earlier in the week. You know, uh, the manipulation of the market was to bring it down a little bit and then bring it back up, right? To shake out the shorts.
Right. And I'm gonna be really excited if we close on the upside today because I think that's gonna be a positive thing, showing that we might have some significant market reversals, and we might actually be getting the bull run started. Historically, March has always been bad month for crypto. Uh, I would say February was kind of a rough run for crypto, so maybe, just maybe, they kind of changed up the algorithm a little bit, and we're a month early in that dump, and maybe March is going to
I
be the fish
mean,
week.
you can say we're a month early in the dump. We haven't really seen. I don't think anybody's experienced the dump like the one that was in March. Like we haven't felt that kind of pain yet.
Okay, well, maybe it'll be here. We're going to find out real soon
Mar-
because,
March, March of last year. Yeah,
so,
no.
anyway.
So I'll go ahead and take over screen wise, and we can hop into kind of what we actually see. Well, cut that out.
Hold on, I got to ask real quick. Are you in a trade right now?
At the moment, no, but I am looking for. And this has given me more reason probably to get into a short. Uh,
Oh man, right up there and wick that 50 EMA on 6 hour.
yeah, I mean, I mean, again, we always kind of start off with the larger time frames on something like this. And again, I focus more on ETH than on Bitcoin just because, we follow ETH so much. But the coins follow each other. I mean, we've got, if you look at these wicks here, this wick here, this wick here, and this box was basically me just looking at kind of what it did when it was in this area last time. So obviously we've got some wicks here. Um, and so this is just a, kind of a high, I don't say volatility area, but just an area in which they like to kind of exploit price a little bit with these vector candles here and there. And so, this pull, this um, increase in price, and of course, this is the daily trend line. This increase in price basically commits a lot of the traders that trade off of this trend line. And so, obviously, we're going to get a lot of activity, in those particular areas because you have a lot of traders. They're here. This is kind of the downtrend line as well. So really, this is TA, but the TA is really meant to know where other traders are in the market. So obviously, what we have now is this move to the upside has probably created a lot of breakout traders, right? And it's also cleared out a lot of space relative to the shorts. If we get into some of the lower time frames, we've got, a few vectors um, here to the downside that will probably need to be recovered. I mean, obviously, the big thing that's happening right now is that we're bouncing off the 800, at least on the 20 minute, and we're in that kind of that Brinks box. The futures market is about to open up in 7 minutes. It'll be interesting to see what they do. But obviously, this was a fast move back up to this area, so they've recovered this wick, which is expected. This is still imbalance in the chart, and then the other imbalance that we have in the chart is kind of these wicks to the downside, as well, and we still got some vectors down on that end as well. So Bitcoin's going to be pretty much the same story. Uh, we've got on the daily, if we go out to the daily, we have similar pattern. And this wick is even like I fully expect this wick to be taken back. These are imbalances in the chart. Generally, with patterns that look like this, you find that, again, you see this wick here got taken back, this wick got taken back, this wick got taken back. And so, I think you're going to see a similar pattern develop. And I think, if it holds, we can hope that, 3,100 or so, that's, that would be the bottom. But,
if you break below that, yeah, there's a ways.
We're going to zero,
yeah.
right?
Wow.
So that's kind of just what we're looking at from a if you want to call it a TA standpoint. If we want to look at, again, we got 5 minutes to the market open, future wise, NASDAQ, S&P, Dow Jones Industrial. So we're flat. So right now it's you go either way. Gold's down, right, which is pretty common when you see a lot of money that floods into equity. It generally comes out of the gold market. Oil's even come down a little bit. So 6.1 billion, it's starting to respond. If we look at, some of the larger, the perp market, we'll put it on, let's just put it on an hourly time frame on Coin Analyze. Now we see, before we had seen some divergence between price and the perp market. Now we see more of things coming in line. So we're dropping here, also dropping here. And if we throw in the CVD spot, that should be pretty interesting. The spot is kind of coming along as well. And we see a steady trend. So we've got, pretty much in alignment, perp, spot, price. So I'd be interested to see OI. What I'd like to see is OI increase while spot decreases and price increases, which means the perp's kind of taking over as far as an influence on price. But this is pretty much in line with what's expected, even though you do have some pickup in spot here on the 15-minute, while you have a decrease in perps, it just means closing up positions. At least that's my opinion. And then you still got spot that's acting pretty strong. So it'd be interesting when spot starts to really take off or to the downside. And then if we look at things like, so this isn't anything that's surprising. We've got kind of some bouncing off of the VWAP here. We've got a lot of trap traders up in this area from that previous wick. We haven't broken that previous wick, so we haven't let any of those, if you went long in that area, and it looks like a lot of people did.
Some poor soul.
Poor souls. You also had some shorts increase, but you had a lot of shorts that got popped as well, that I'm sure we'll see when we look at high block. But, playing along in this VWAP's increasing. Again, the narrative of the story is, we do have a war in place. I think a lot of the pump that, is occurring, is based upon everyone expecting the market to go down because of the war. Eventually, I think the narrative is going to turn to, things like, more use of crypto because of what's going on and things of that nature. And I think once that happens, right, then I think they pull the rug and we're headed back to the downside in the areas, that at least I've identified on the traders trading view.
So you think this is just an opportunity just to strictly really get a push for digital currency, to start becoming part of the world currency per se?
I mean, I'm not going to go that far. I will say though that this will probably be used as a case study, right? For you got all these Ukrainians that essentially don't have bank accounts anymore, right? So one of the things Russia did in the beginning was take over ports, right? To go in, and I think they did those denial of service attacks on the government and on Ukrainian banks and things of that nature. So you've got a lot of folks in the Ukraine that that don't have access to banking. But, as we've seen with crypto wallet, you're not really shutting down a crypto wallet software, right? So as long as you have access to some type of internet, right, cell phone, something of that nature, then you can maintain a crypto account with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then if you have things like there's always going to be a way to monetize that in have an internal community. I mean, even if you look at what they were donating before the war, they're donating Bitcoin to crypto, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or they got Bitcoin to Ukraine, right? And so, people know it's untouchable, right? Within a war, conceivably, unless, just somebody has your wallet, your keys. But at the end of the day, yeah, I mean, this could be a big push, but given the size of Russia, given the size of Ukraine, I would fully expect this to be, manipulation by institutions that are looking to trap traders to cut their legs once they believe that we're back in a bull market. So, this could last for a week. It could.
Yeah, easy. I totally agreement with you there. For sure. Real quick, let's take a look at the high block liquidations. This is for the ETH/USDT on Binance. As you can see, we're here slowly throughout. Well, I say slowly. We had some really nice pumps yesterday with a few drawbacks, just to put a little trickery on it. But this is we're right in the middle, and we have a. To be honest with you, we have a nice little momentum train going to the upside right now. The deal is, if they're going to want to leave this liquidity out here on the market for these liquidations, because as you can see here, I think this is 40 million. And this is 50 million. They got some really nice liquidations up here to go get, and this is going to be right here in the price range around 27.84. Not exactly sure. Price is going to be down here in this area, so probably mid 2600s right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we do run up here and get a hold of this before we come down, but we'll look at Bookmap here in a minute to see if it can support that idea with the current orders that are on the book. Let's slide over to Bitcoin real quick, take a look at it. I think we're going to see something very similar. And drum roll, please. There we go. Perfect. As you can see here, there's the same things happening, but as you can see, there you got a little red mark right here, which indicates that there's a short liquidation. That's a pretty small one for Bitcoin, 38 million. Isn't that crazy? That's a small liquidation. But look at that one. It's 233.
Institutions, man, they don't,
That's crazy.
Institutions are actively trading Bitcoin 30, 40, 50 million at a time. For all these folks that are trading altcoins, we follow Ethereum. You don't see those kind of moves in Ethereum. When you really start to look at Bitcoin, you see that, man, the institutions are throwing around some money. And, if all hell breaks loose, Bitcoin is the big boy to run to.
Right. And again, there's some really nice 150, almost $150 million liquidations right here that are these peak outs, and that price for top price for Bitcoin is about 40,456, somewhere in that area. So I would pay attention to those key areas. I don't see us really getting past this, but if we get sent into a pump this weekend, we may not see any move to the downside till late Sunday night or early Monday morning. Let's see. Let's take a look at Bookmap. I got Bookmap over here. I got it loaded up on my new software because, look at this, man. It's super fast now. Remember how we were
super cool.
Yeah. Anyway, as you can see, we're kind of neutral right here on the order book for right now. But you can see there's a nice little wall right up here above us in the 2750 range. It's got 560 orders. You come a little bit higher up here to 2770. You have a nice little area of orders, and as well up here at 2800, 692. That's all right up there in that range that we were talking about with that big liquidation. So that's that. My mind's not too far away, but and we have a nice little wall support area down here at 2600. So pay attention to what happens around 2600 if we head that way. And then I would pay specifically close attention to the 2770 area to see what happens if we get in there. I do anticipate whichever way we start moving, you'll start seeing these orders kind of get spooked where they just gradually move them up and get this, just kind of following a trend. And I won't be surprised if we don't see that from New York here pretty quick, because they haven't really done a whole lot of price action in the movement since the market opened about 10 minutes ago. So over here to Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean we pumped a little, and then
was it in the pre-market or just the beginning?
no, it's when the futures, like by first 10 minutes, you kind of had a rise, and then we're kind of moving to the downside, but it's really not going anywhere. So you're right. I mean, there hadn't been any significant action at this point.
And then right here, this is Bitcoin. We're hanging around 39,230. As you can see, 39,700. We got kind of a wall of orders, and then if we head down here, let's see, we're at bottom 38,700. There'll be a lot of activity happening at 38,700. So either there'll be a rejection, or they're gonna eat through it and continue the downside. So that's a really big key area, I think, for Bitcoin today when we do get down in that range, because I don't see that order book moving. It's really thick. And then right here, 40,000, and then you got another 40,000 and 40,100. It's a heavy wall of orders there as well. So right now, as far as the weight on the opens and ask orders right now, I mean, everything's pretty even, pretty consistent. Not just a whole lot going on in the market this morning.
Yeah, slow open. I mean, look, we had that big ass pump at the end of the New York session yesterday. So they held it up there. Keep longs committed. Probably build some more shorts. So anybody that went long on that large wick, they've been sitting in a minor loss for a minute. If we get back up to that wick, I expect to the top of that wick, I expect some of those folks to sell, market to move back a little bit, and then then that's going to be the moment of truth, whether or not we move forward, or our institution's comfortable holding this type of risk over the weekend with the war going on. I mean, it doesn't make too much sense to me, but
hey,
how these markets are.
Sorry to interrupt, but we didn't look at funding rates a while ago. I'm just gonna swing us over here to look at these. We got current is FTX is usually always negative. So you have so you have positive across the board. I mean, these are still pretty low as far as interest or funding rates, huh?
Yeah, I mean, funding rates look pretty good. I kind of also pay attention to the predicted, just from kind of see where the mentality is.
So these are,
looks like there's a lot of folks that believe are holding long positions on the exchanges, which would you would assume would indicate that you got a lot of trap traders that are holding long.
Well, but positive means shorts get paid, right? So
shorts get paid, right? So, which just means there's more, from a ratio standpoint, there's more longs holding leverage than there are shorts.
All right, cool. Well, so that's all. That's about. So, well, I mean, obviously, do you think it's going to ultimately pump or dump today?
But it really depends on what happens in the market. I mean, being day traders, if you get a bunch of shorts that come on board, that's going to be motivation to move to the upside. If the longs decide that they want to continue then this is why we trade. If we could predict the market in 15, 30 minutes in the morning, then we probably wouldn't be doing this show.
Ladies and gentlemen, people that are unaware of this, but this is B. Wellington's way of saying, I don't really know what's going to happen.
I know what I will react to if this, then that.
That's definitely going to be one of those. That's definitely 100% the plan today. It's an and then if this then that.
Yeah.
Because
if shorts pile on,
those key areas that we're talking about with the heavy volumes, that's where when we get there, how it reacts to price, and then that's where I would specifically say then make a move.
So you asked me, what about you? Give me your prediction for the day.
Okay, yeah. So I think I'm in the same boat. I'm not really sure which direction we're heading right now. With the positive funding rates though, I'm gonna lean more to the short side, but I'm not playing out that we don't get to 27.50, 27.70 first before we start seeing some move to the downside. As you can see, the weight is starting to build up right here, but it's not significant because they're just bouncing around between each other. So this is going to be kind of a weird day, I think, because normally we've typically also been seeing towards the end of the week us heading down, and we're actually pumping. So I'm hoping this is a good sign, and then we can really start pumping through the weekend, and then catch a CME gap and a nice dump to get into next week, which might be signaling that we might be getting ready for that bull cycle that we are anticipating soon. But again, nothing's confirmed that it's here yet. So
I'm not anticipating bull run.
So to be honest with you, I think I'm upside at least to 27.50 today.
Well, I mean, 27.50 is just outside the wick from yesterday. So you're not going on a limb there. $50 on Ethereum. Come on.
Well, like to the upside, like, you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, 50% up in a trade. That ain't shit for B. Wellington.
That ain't shit. If there's more to get, that ain't shit. Put that on a t-shirt.
All right, guys, that's gonna end it today for the show. Really appreciate everyone watching today, and we'll catch you next week on Monday, same time, 8:15.